Hi, everyone. Welcome to our fall chair check-in. This is our first one after biennial, after APA, after summer, after all of those lovely things. And so we try to host these at least twice a year or more as needed as a way to provide you all with support on what's going on and just making sure that you all have everything that you need to be supported in your roles. Next slide, please. I like to start all sessions with the community agreement that was drafted in 2021 during the SCRAW biennials. As a community, we value and respect all members and commit to working together to ensure all members have equitable access to participate in dialogue. As a community, we value diversity, equity, inclusion, and commit to working together to ensure that our spaces of dialogue and learning are inclusive, anti-oppressive, and anti-racist. As a community, we acknowledge and value the importance of reflexivity and critical reflection in scholarship and practice, and commit to working together to promote anti-oppressive and anti-racist norms. Next slide, please. So today we're going to talk about just a few things: how to access previous events that we have, how to use our events calendar, how to submit update requests, the budget and annual report process for this year. Then we like to hear some updates from you all if you'd like to share anything, as well as just offer up space for dialogue. So if you would like to access our SCRAW Welcome Week, the videos are on YouTube for our welcome session and our Get Connected session. Next slide, please. For our finance session, you have to log into the SCRAW website with your membership ID. And when you log in and go to the link included, just click on the video. We are aware that some members are having issues with logging in. If you're in that situation, please just let us know, as we're trying to keep a log of those requests. Our website vendor is trying to troubleshoot these issues. Next slide. And now, Yadaviga, it's all you.
All right, so there are a couple of different forms on the new website that you guys need to know how to use as part of what you are doing. So the first one is the event calendar submission process. It is super easy, but I did some print screens to show you, right? So if you go to the calendar on the website, you'll see the events calendar right up here. You see events, you go to the calendar, and when you're here, and if your event is not there, then you're going to click on submit a listing, right? It is going to go here next to this form, and you're going to do your name, email, event title, event description, and then you'll hit submit, and it will come to me, and I will put it on, approve it for the calendar. So that one is pretty simple, and so is the next one. It really is. We're very fortunate that we have a really decent form system built into the new website that allows us to capture all of this and hopefully make it cleaner for you guys going forward. And then the next is update requests. Now, I noticed today when I was fiddling around with this, that you have to go directly to this link. If you go to resources, it's not a sublink. I'm going to add it there so that it's easier to find. But if in the meantime, until I do, the link is here. You can also, if you're in the website, hit the search function right here and just do chair update, and it automatically pulls up the form. But I will make sure that you guys can find it easier than that as well. So chair update request, this is going to be for things you want on the website, right? You have your individual pages on our SCRAW website. And so what you can do is using this form, tell us what you would like to have updated on the SCRAW website. And additionally, I had said this in our Welcome Week sessions, but if you want to schedule a one-on-one time to meet with me to discuss what you'd like your page to look like, just email me. I'm very happy to do that. And it might be, so if you don't have any idea yet about like your individual committee, council, or interest group page, maybe set up a time with me first before using this form, because the form, you'll probably need something more in depth than that, but I just want you guys to know that this exists. And so if you do have so once your pages are up and going, or if they already are, if there are things you want to have updated, so this would be like a monthly thing, right? If you're on top of your events and whatnot, or if you're making PDFs, or if you're making flyers, anytime you did a new one, you would want to submit through here. And there is like I said, you can see at the bottom that there'll be a place to upload any files that you would also like added to the website. And then moving on back to Amber.
Actually, this is Michelle.
Back to Michelle.
Hi, everyone. So I guess I'm going to give you a very brief overview of our budget submission process, and do I have screen share capabilities as well?
I'll give them to you.
Okay, yes, because I can show some of the form. So if you participated in our budget process last year, we are actually using a very similar process to this year. So it'll be almost the same form. Sorry, I have a lot of tabs open. Okay, so I think you're seeing the form.
Yes, we're seeing the form.
Ignore my 110 tabs that I have open. So the budget reporting form will actually be very similar to the one last year. You have the ability to roll over funds from this current year if you will not have them use them all by the end of the year. And you can request new funds for 2024 if you anticipate having something new that you would like to plan for. The deadline is going to be the same as last year, so it'll be due December 1st. The main things that are different is that we are going to ask you to please spend any funds from this current year that you want rolled over by the end of the first quarter of 2024. And the reason why is because we want to allow opportunity for people to use funds if there was a slight delay in rolling out a project in 2023. But we do want to tie up our loose ends as we move into the new calendar year. So we're asking for any rollover funds that you want to request be used by the end of the first quarter of 2024. The other thing that we have changed on this form is, if you go down, we are going to ask you for just a brief budget justification. Again, limit of a word limit of 300 words. Bullets are again encouraged like last year, but we have condensed both how the budget aligns with the goals of your group and with SCRAW's work to be an anti-racist, anti-oppressive organization just into one field to make it a little tighter and shorter for you. The other main change that we have made is the budget template, which I will screen share that. So we're again going to ask if you are making funding requests for 2024 that you provide us with a template with the request items itemized out with a description or rationale. And as you can see, it's kind of the same form, but we embedded more instructions in here. So we put the unallowable expenses right into this template so you don't have to keep going back and forth to the Google form. We've also put instructions on top that you should please download a copy of this template, open it in Excel on your computer, complete it, save it, and then upload it as an attachment. We had some issues last year with people writing directly into the template, and unfortunately, it's not a form, it's a template. So when the next group went to access it, if they overwrote it, then we lost whatever people had submitted. So it will just save us some time and energy in tracking down the budget requests. We also created some columns in here with some auto sum cells. So this time when you put in both of the expenditures from 2023 or the budget request for 2024, the items will auto add for you, so you don't have to do the math. And we thought that that would be easier for everyone. And then the main thing that hasn't really changed, but we want you to pay attention to, is please provide a brief reason or rationale. So for instance, if you are requesting honorariums for 4 webinars and you're paying $200 a webinar, then your brief description would be honorariums, your amount requested would be 2 times 4 webinars, $800. And then you would say $200 honorarium for 4 webinars so that we know specifically what you're looking to pay for. I will send these forms out relatively soon. I think we just want to double check that all of the templates are working properly. Like previous years, like last year, it should be a skip pattern form. So if you're not rolling over funds, you answer no. It's going to bypass that section. And if you have any questions or difficulties as you're completing the form, please just email me at secretary@scra27.org and I'm happy to help you.
Thanks, Michelle. And next slide. And so we will be offering 2 support sessions, one October 17th from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern on our SCRAW conference line and for Zoom, as well as November 6th from 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern. Feel free to come with any questions that you may have. The goal of these sessions is to support you in submitting for your budget request. And so we want to make sure that everyone has all the support that they need. So if you've started maybe even drafting and you want some feedback on maybe even things like clarity, like, hey, is it clear what I'm asking or what's being requested? Those are the type of questions that we can help support you with. If you're new to the budget process and this will be your first time, maybe just submitting any kind of budget in this way, please feel free to join one of our sessions just to get that support that you need. And so we hope that we see you at these sessions. Next slide, please. And back to Michelle.
Hi again. So our annual reports will have a similar process to last year. I don't have a copy of that Google form yet, so that's forthcoming. However, we anticipate using the same Google form template that you used last year. So you'll report your group's activities in 2023 and a brief description of your group's plans for 2024. And that form will be due January 1st. We do ask that you please complete the form even if you have no activities to report. And the reason why is I use the form to build the briefing book for the midwinter meeting and SCRAW's historical records. So if people don't complete the form, I am unsure if it's because you're still working on it or if your group just hasn't had any activities. So I will send that around relatively soon. However, you'll get the budget form first, have opportunities to fill that out, and then we'll send the annual report form following that.
And as Michelle mentioned about the importance of completing the form, even if you don't have activities. So according to our administrative documents and our policy and procedure, that if a group does not submit an annual report 2 consecutive years, they're considered inactive. So please submit and just let us know, even if you had no activity. So for example, let's say, hey, your group just got recharged during the biennial. And so there you have it. Then you can just simply say that. So we'll have that as a record. Michelle, is there anything else you'd want to add?
I don't think so, except to say I'm always happy to help answer questions. If you submitted something and you're unsure if you filled it out right, or if you're having any difficulties completing any of the forms, please reach out to me and I'd be happy to help.
And I just want to also acknowledge that our president is during the session and just wanted to attend and show his appreciation for everyone that is chairing all of our councils, committees, and interest groups. And he also put that in the chat. Kwesi, is there anything else you'd want to add?
No, thank you for that. Over the past couple of years, I've been so much appreciative of people who step up into the roles you all have stepped up into. And so basically just want to thank you for that and look forward to working with you this year.
All right, thank you. And next slide, please. All right, everyone. So one of the things as we are changing our processes, we really want to get you all's feedback on some things that we're sort of playing around with and trying to see what is the best way for us to sort of let you all have access to these recordings. And so just wanted to get your feedback on maybe one of these two, for example. So and one of these came just because I know there have been challenges with people in Google Drive. Like if your institution has a Google Drive and then it's a challenge sometimes. So one option is we can add it to the Scrawl website and have it as a member login, and we can define a time frame for when that would be available. And we can also do via Zoom where we would share code and you could access it that way. And so, and also open to other ideas. We really just want to make this easier for you all and you getting the support that you need. And we'll still use Google Drive for other things, but just because recordings can take up space, we want to explore some other options. And so open to any other ideas that people may have or just any feedback about what has been shared. Is there any preference for one of these options over the other? Hi, Sharon, welcome. I see your hand raised.
Yes, thank you. And good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you are in the world. My name is Sharon Wasco. I'm representing the SCRA Practice Council today, and this is my first meeting. But I would say, and I appreciate so much thinking about the amount of space it takes for these documents to live. So I personally really like the idea of archiving them on the SCRA website. That also helps me know it's this one place, this one link. I don't have to travel around through my emails or whatever to find various monthly recordings. So that would be my preference, but I don't have a lot of historical experience to build on.
Okay. Thank you for that, Sharon. And one thing I also do want to share with people in terms of we are going to be doing more of an archival process with our SCRA website. If you noticed previously, we've had years and years and years. And so we are limiting it to a 3-year max for things. With the exception of just depending on like when you all are doing events and things. And so we want when members join the website to be able to see the latest. So definitely we could do like a 3-year where you can, as you logged in, you'd be able to access that. Now, one thing to be aware of is that then even with the member login, other members would still be able to access that. And so as long as you all are comfortable with that, we don't record the portion of our sessions that are labeled dialogue, which is essentially an opportunity for you all to ask questions or get clarity and go do deeper dives on anything. So we don't record that, but we do record this content piece here. So just looking at the chat, it looks like there is an interest moving more to the website. Let's see. And I saw one Zoom code. And if anyone else would like to show, we can, just a show of hands, how many people would prefer the SCRA website? You can use your reactions, or if you haven't already voted in the chat. Okay, I'm gonna close that voting. So it looks like, oh, 6, 7, okay, 7. All right, and next voting. So if you can please, if you've previously raised your hand, go ahead and just put that down for me. And next vote for via Zoom with the code. Any votes for that? Okay. So it looks like what we'll do is we will work on transitioning over to using the website, and I'll send an update email on how you can access those. So yeah. Thanks everyone for your feedback. Next slide, please. All right, so here is the opportunity within this space for you all to learn from each other. If there's any updates or anything that you want to share that your groups are working on, now is the time. I know a lot of you have meetings coming up and they're on the calendar. Yay. So yeah. Any volunteers that would like to share anything that's going on in their group?
Can I just say something very quickly?
Yes, Krishna.
So basically, as a result of, we had that meeting a couple of weeks ago, and you made some recordings. Somebody got in touch with me because I requested some help with the website and admin. And I got a lovely email this morning from somebody saying that they'd like to help out. So thank you very much for that. I think it's a great forum for getting people connected to help each other out. So hopefully we can get this group up and running this year and have some activity. So thank you.
Would anyone else like to share anything that will be recorded? Okay. Well, at this moment, we will conclude this recording, and you all can feel free to